Hi, this is Jordan Williams. I'm doing my video essay, I guess, is how you want to call it. So I'm gonna be basically talking about, like, I guess an overview of my life, a timeline, I guess, how you would put it, and then I'm gonna kind of fit in how it's affected, like, my social concept and self-esteem and what my family function is like and working model and everything like that. And in turn, I'm going to say, who my relationships were with and how people have affected me and, just stuff like that. So, I was born in the Holiday area. I was born at the hospital right here in Holiday. But I lived, and my parents and my home was out in Taylorsville. And as a baby, I didn't really know what was going on, but I remember, always staying at my grandma's. My parents worked. My mom went to work at 6 and 7 in the morning, had to be there, and my dad was waking up way earlier, and he worked right next to where we lived out in Taylorsville, being a mailman, and so my mom would take me to my grandma's every morning before school, and I would go to elementary, preschool, I guess, first, up here in the Holiday area, and my grandma was always the one watching me. She basically did, everything with me. My parents would pick me up from her house, around 5, something like that, after they got off work, and I'd go home, and sometimes they'd have dinner. We'd have family dinner and stuff. But a lot of the times I was, eating breakfast at my grandma's, doing most of my homework, some of my homework at my grandma's. I was usually eating dinner there. I was eating lunch after school. I was when I wasn't going to school and it was summer. I was hanging out up there. I was, hanging out with kids up here. I never knew anyone really. I mean, I played sports out in Taylorsville, and my parents did that, but my grandma was still the one that was making the trip all the way up to Taylorsville and taking me to practices and stuff, but my parents would be there for the games and stuff like that. So those are basically like the only kids I knew from the Taylorsville area, and so all my friends and everything I knew was basically up here in the Holiday area. And so my family function was basically a little mixed up because I kind of had my grandma's household where I would get away with mostly anything. It was more of like the fun, childhood memories, I guess. And when I would go home, it was kind of okay, dinner, homework and sports or whatever. And so in that way, I mean, it's really different. And then let's see. Got an outline here I'm trying to read. Oh yeah, and I never actually slept at my grandma's house. I was always going home to sleep. Never had a sleepover at her house, and so, and that's stuck with me to this day. I don't like to be sleeping anywhere else. I like to be home in my bed. Where I'm used to sleeping, and I don't know if that's, I don't know exactly what that would be called. Separation stuff, I guess, from home, homesickness. Um, so being very athletic as a kid, my parents and my grandma would motivate me a ton. They would extrinsically motivate me, just through the roof. My mom and my grandma, at least. My dad's a lot quieter, and doesn't say much and is more of a serious, kind of strict guy. And so I'd get a lot of extrinsic motivation from my grandma and my mom. And when it came to sports, I was always it was usually soccer when I was that young, and it was, you know, they loved it. I never really had to, you know, motivate myself for it because, you know, I had them. And shoot.